So when I moved up here to go back to college, I saw that there was an open mic, and I gave it a shot, and I've been hooked ever since.
We do open mic comedy every Tuesday night here, so we're doing that. My name is Chris, I'm the host.
My name is Chris Williams. I am 37 years old. I am from Los Angeles, but I live in Santa Barbara now, and I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been funny since I was a little kid, and I didn't even really remember being funny, but I found this yearbook photo of me, and I guess the class had to write something about me, and somebody wrote funny, and it's right above my head in this photo that I took, which was a nice reminder. So when I was a kid, I remember watching stand-up comedy. My parents watched stand-up comedy, and I would watch these entertainers control a whole crowd and tell a story and make people laugh and I guess have an impact. And it was something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to entertain, but I loved the idea of stand-up comedy because it was me. I was responsible for what was happening on the stage.
This is a very special night, though. It's not really that special, but we are filming. We're filming because they thought I was Steph Curry, and this happens often.
We are going to the Blue Owl for open mic comedy, which we do every Tuesday. So my favorite part about the open mic is that it will get wild.
My spirit animal is a deer. That's because I have been hit by 2 cars.
We've lost control! It's that people keep showing up. I've been doing this open mic now for about 1.5 years, every Tuesday, and people keep showing up, and it's the same people, and I watch people get better. I watch people evolve. I watch people go for the first time. My family's always been really supportive. All right, I went back to college. I'm 35, graduating from UCSB, and I'm gonna go do stand-up. And it was I'm announcing this to the world. And I think my family was like, yeah, all right, yeah, duh, go.
We weren't surprised. No, when he was a little guy, he would always put on shows for us.
I was adopted when I was a baby, just a little guy. I was born in March, adopted in June, to a great black family, 2 black parents.
He was a few months old when we adopted him, and we do have another adopted son, Cameron, and so we've always told both of them that adopting them was like winning the lottery.
Growing up as an adoptive child was normal to me. It was great. I wore the adopted flag really proudly, and I think now that I've gotten older, I've started to discover that there are some things that emotionally maybe I didn't deal with or I didn't realize were there that come from being adopted. I was in a 6-year relationship, a long-term relationship, years ago. She told me that she couldn't date somebody who does stand-up because it's just a really hard lifestyle. And so instead, I didn't do stand-up. I actually went back to college. And when the relationship fell apart, I started going to therapy. And in therapy, I learned that my need to please people, especially women, came from being adopted. I always feel like I need to prove myself. I feel very grateful and lucky that my parents adopted me, and I feel like I have to do right by them because that's a big investment to buy a baby is a big investment.
Not to seem like braggarts, but we're very proud of Christopher. And any parent's dream is to just see the children successful and happy.
My parents always made me feel like I had a voice, even as a kid. So even now, that I think comes across on stage because I talk about whatever I want to talk about.
I love Santa Barbara. It's beautiful, but it's racist. It's not like the movie Get Out racist. It's just like classic Disney movie racist, they just want to touch my hair racist, you know what I'm talking about?
I like to talk about race because, one, I feel like I sort of have a duty to talk about it because people will listen to me more than maybe people will listen to others. And because I think I'm good at crafting the message.
That's the kind of racism in Santa Barbara. It's the essence of racism. It's just enough for black people to be aware, but not enough to keep us away. Look at them. Make it awkward. Everybody look at them.
And also I work at Ace Rivington, a men's clothes shop, because stand-up doesn't pay until you're famous. I'm so poor. There's nothing promised in stand-up comedy. There's nothing promised in entertainment in general. You are just going off of the idea, the dream that maybe you'll make it. You are grinding for so long, working on this craft. You may never make it to the level that you want to make it. You may never, do that thing, that dream of playing an audience of 5,000 people or having a Netflix special. And that is terrifying. And sometimes it's really lonely. And when you have good friends and you have good people, they know how to pick you up and make you feel better. I have my best friend, Ernie, who lives in San Luis Obispo, and then also my girlfriend, because without her, I don't know how I'd get through it. Comedy helps me cope with everything. I suffer from ADHD, which is it's pretty extreme, and as I've gotten older, I've become more aware of how it's affected my life. I am really, really good at looking past everything I've achieved, which I've recently found out is something a lot of people with ADHD do.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Chris for maybe 3-4 years. It's funny, I didn't learn that Chris had ADHD until recently. I think he started posting that on his Instagram or something. But the dude is super fucking focused on his comedy career, so he must be well medicated.
So every now and then, there's a moment, a little sliver of time where I sit and I'm really proud of myself. I can say I'm an award-winning comedian. I can say that in 3.5 years, I've probably done more with my comedy career than a lot of people have done in 20. And I could say that I'm comfortable being who I am.
There's a lot of reasons to admire him, but one is his work ethic. He works harder than any other comedian I've met, certainly on the local scene. I just made my own short movie, and I cast him as the sort of the comedic relief in that movie. I allowed him to improvise a lot.
Let's get you on dating apps today. When you're not dressed like a homeless Barbie, you're actually kind of a catch.
Thanks. And he did really a great job. So I think he has a number of avenues where he could be successful.
I think in 5 years, I will be touring as a comedian. I probably won't live in Santa Barbara anymore, probably in Los Angeles or a place like that, and just really seeing the fruits of my labor, of what I've put into a small scene like in Santa Barbara and all the hard work that I've put in. We are at Embarcadero Hall here at UCSB, and we are featuring on a Laughology show. I like performing here at UCSB because this is where I started doing comedy, even though I was an old man here at UCSB at 35. It wasn't until I started going to college here at UCSB that I started doing comedy. So it's just kind of a quick circle, but a full circle moment for me to come back and just do it here at a place where I had lectures and I hated every one. But that would be where I see myself and just, I think, happy and feeling more secure, and hopefully with no student debt. That'd be nice. And probably also that I've made somewhat of a difference in maybe the Santa Barbara community. A lot of people tell me that I inspire them, and that was something I never thought I would inspire anybody. I never set out to inspire anybody. I just did what I wanted to do.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm doing something I do every time I perform here. I'm going to chug a beer.
Comedy feels like it's given me a chance to live the life that I was supposed to live. I feel happy. I feel scared. I feel frustrated. I feel tired. I feel love. I feel hate. I feel all these things because of comedy. Comedy's just really given me a chance to be me. And some days I'm driving to a show and I just start crying in the car because I used to dream of being on a stage, talking in front of 1,000 people and just entertaining them. I used to put on shows in my bedroom for my parents. I would rig a curtain using a comforter and a rope across my bunk bed to the closet, and I would put a flashlight on the shelf and it made a spotlight, and I'd make these flyers and I'd pass them out to my parents, and I would just entertain. I think that was the truest I ever was and the happiest I ever was, like in those moments of just pretending that I was the ringmaster of a circus, or I was a clown, or learning to juggle. And I think I got pulled away from that dream, and it sort of just, I got too scared to achieve it and to face it, and now to be here, he would be really proud. Yeah.